All right. Again, thanks for joining us. My name is Kyle Squillis. I'm with Purdue Manufacturing Extension Partnership, and I'm pleased to be joined today by Tom Fisher, Operations Manager at RobotWorx, who has been a leader in automation and robotics since the early 90s. So we're very lucky to have Tom and his group here to co-present with us today. Our friends at CIRAS and IMEC are also have been able to market this webinar and hopefully drive some attendance as well. So these are our MEP equivalents in Illinois and Iowa. Again, thank you for joining us. So today we're going to talk about the iSmart program, which some of you may have heard a little bit about, but I'll go into a little bit more detail. And then RobotWorx is going to be the main your focus today and what their value add is, what their role is in automation. And we're going to talk about the financial side of things a bit. So once you've decided on a piece of automation, maybe what's the best financial mechanism to acquire that? What makes the most sense for your business? And we've got a project to show you with a quick video, and then following with some Q&A and some future web sessions we've got going on with the iSmart program and the other MEP centers. So if you're not familiar with the Manufacturing Extension Partnership Network, it's nationwide. You can see the 3 centers highlighted there in the Midwest are Purdue, IMEC, and CIRAS. And we have representation in all 50 states, and we work closely across borders from time to time on projects that involve companies with multiple sites, multiple groups of personnel that require training, consulting, education like today. So one good thing about having all these virtual meetings is that we're able to not be limited by our geographic bounds, and we're able to sort of meet together, so to speak, across state lines, and hopefully drive some future engagements with today's focus on automation. So the iSmart program, the iSmart acronym stands for Implementing Small Manufacturer Assistance with Robotic Technologies. And it's a federally funded program, and it's focused on Indiana as the lead recipient with Iowa and Illinois as the subrecipients. And it's going to go through at least November of next year. So we've got it underway. We've got some good momentum going, but we're still a little bit in the infancy. And we're hoping for some quick wins. So what that means is typical automation programs in the past have required, years of payback period and really high intensive capital investment. We're trying to bring that bar down, that barrier to entry down to more of the small to medium sized manufacturers, so that they can see the benefits of this automation and the opportunities it provides you. And it's not just for the huge corporations that have been using it for a number of years. So we're going to provide clients with access to automation experts. We're going to identify some opportunities for them. We're going to develop a business case for those specific applications. And then we'll connect you to your resources in your region. It may be an integrator, maybe a distributor, maybe a training resource. And we're going to assist with preparing those automation deployments. So we'll do that through a little bit of project management, a little bit of vetting and matchmaking when it comes to finding those partners. We've already done a lot of that legwork in the Midwest, and RobotWorx is a testament to that. And then we will consult on post-deployment as well. It shows an application. They think it's a good fit, but then as we walk around the plant, we ask the question, hey, what about this operation? What's going on here? And oftentimes that will be just as good, if not a better candidate to start with when it comes to automation deployment. So really helpful to get in physically if we can, and again, those opportunities that we might see as we walk around the plant, that we would not be privy to if it's a virtual meeting, so to speak. Business case is something we definitely want to keep at top of mind. So what is the automation cost? What is the savings it's going to bring to your company compared to making that a manual operation, or maybe it's just you're losing activity because you're not able to fulfill that operation at all with labor consistency. So we'll outline that in a report that will include the ROI as well as the payback period projections based on our analysis. And then we'll recommend some training courses that augment the implementation you have going. It could be a risk assessment. It could be managing change through a leadership course. It could be a value stream map. There's lots of options when it comes to more of our core traditional MEP offerings. And like I said, we'll identify those providers that are in your region and help you get those requests for proposals from other third parties that might have equipment that marries up to the main robot itself. So we are a lean-based organization. We're heavily focused on lean, and we can help redesign a cell or process using lean before automation is deployed. So that's kind of the value that our MEP experts bring that marries up well with the automation experts when they come to integrate their product into a cell. We want to quickly replicate any of those wins that were successful, and learn from the lessons, maybe the tough lessons we might have gone through as well, so that we don't repeat those. We want to be a partner. We want to just leave you hanging after the robot is in place. We want to be somewhere you can come back to us and request support and help when you need it. So we're focusing on the financials a bit today. Here are just some quick options from top to bottom. Everybody's familiar with the capital purchase, very traditional. Capital lease, Tom's going to go into some of those derivatives that exist out there today and kind of how they differ from each other. The lease to own is a popular one. I've been through that myself as an operations manager. Commonly, there's a dollar buyout or a small buyout at the end. It can be a benefit to offer more flexibility on technology that has a tendency to change more so than other more mature verticals. And then the robot rental program, which I'm really excited about. It's almost like on a micro level, think about a month-to-month lease for an apartment, so to speak. The robot rental is almost that equivalent compared to signing a year or two lease for an apartment, and that would be the lease-to-own model, that a lot of equipment buyers go through. So the robot rental is not for everybody. Tom's going to go through some of the benefits it does offer you, but it's a bit unique, and RobotWorx has a program that they've had in place for a while now that they've had success with. So I'm excited to share that. As we all know, cash flow is king for small business, right? So from top to bottom here, your cash flow is going to improve typically as you go down the list here. You've got some other trade-offs to consider, and so that's what makes this complicated. But just wanted to highlight some of the other options that are out there today. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tom.
Good morning. Can everybody see my screen? Okay. All right, so we're going to go through affordable robots. That's going to include leases, rentals, and reconditioned options. A little bit about myself. As Kyle said, I'm operations manager at RobotWorx. History-wise, I went to Ferris State, have a welding engineering degree, 20 plus years in the welding and fabricating industry, and 15 of that was in automotive, working for Honda and Magna. So, RobotWorx, what do we offer? We offer both new and reconditioned industrial robots, work cells, and parts. We were founded in 1992 by Keith Warner, who was a Ohio State welding engineer and an entrepreneur. In 2014, RobotWorx became part of Scott Technology. Scott Technology is based out of New Zealand and has over 100 years of experience in automation. Scott has a global presence and serves the meat processing and appliance industry as their primary. They also do welding, other assemblies, and packaging and palletizing. The Scott purchase allowed RobotWorx to expand our abilities and provide a wider variety of solutions to our customers. RobotWorx now, with being purchased with Scott, has a global engineering team behind them. What makes us different? Relationships. We are a relationship-based company. So we have relationships with our customers, our robot OEMs, and our vendors. Our primary goal is to get the customer what they want, what works for them, and what's going to fit them best long term. How we do that, we have a large selection of robots. We currently house about 100 robots in our facility, and we have access to thousands. Integration-wise, we offer both customized and pre-engineered integrated solutions. And our engineering team has the expertise to find the right solution to meet your needs. Like I said, our end goal is customer satisfaction. Reconditioning. We do reconditioning as a primary business model for all major brands of robots. Our reconditioning, we feel, is superior, not only because we clean and repaint, but we also refurbish robots and robotic systems. We do this by doing a complete overhaul, replacing non-conforming components, includes flushing all lubricants, replacing faulty gears and motors. We go through the robot 100%, make sure what you're getting is like new when we're done. Secondary to what makes us different, our warranty. Our reconditioned robots and systems come with the exact same 1-year parts and labor warranty that you would get from purchasing new. We also offer extended options for those who want a little more added on for a warranty. And then service and support. RobotWorx is committed to service and support after the sale. Our technicians are available to assist with any repair or replacement needs. Every system we offer comes with free training, a warranty, and then phone support for the life of the system. And then again, we've been in business since '92, so we've got 25 years of integrating experience, doing a multitude of applications, and this obviously helps with design and integration process going to go smoothly. As I mentioned, we sell new and reconditioned robots. We are an authorized integrator for FANUC, Motoman, ABB, and KUKA, so the major 4 brands. Reconditioned industrial robots. So this is our bread and butter. RobotWorx buys pre-owned robots, tests them, inspects them, reconditions them to like new. Faulty parts, questionable parts, wear items are all replaced at time of recondition. The robot is cleaned. We use a dry ice system to clean all our robots. We do a repeatability and a reliability test, and then we are painting the robot back to factory colors or custom upon request. And the benefit of reconditioned robots, you can save up to 60% on a reconditioned robot versus new. The process for reconditioning. So as far as the arm is concerned, we'll remove any previous integration wires and components. So our reconditioned robots come in used. They've been used for a purpose. They have integration already on them. They have tooling already on them. We strip it down to a off-the-shelf robot. We check all the wiring connections, inspect the harness, inspect the arm for any cracks or abnormalities, check, repair, replace servos, harmonics, reducers, ensure the robot's functionality and performance is working up to speed. We replace all the grease in the robot and inspect the robot for any grease or oil leaks. Then the teach pendant, same thing. We go through it 100%, make sure there's no cracks, no non-functioning buttons, and make sure it's working correctly. The controller, we do a complete overhaul of the controller. We strip it, clean it out, take out all the prior integration on the controller side, inspect all the components, do functionality and performance testing, and verify incoming voltage is set to the correct standard for the customer. And then testing. Testing is our most important part. Because we offer the 1-year warranty, we want to make sure you get what you buy. Every robot is put through a rigorous test to ensure it's going to be repeatable within the OEM specs for its motions, as well as reliability testing to ensure the robot can function at full payload. We want to make sure when you get a robot and it's a 200 kg robot, it's able to hold that 200 kg. So we do a lot of weight testing where we will bolt weights on and confirm the function and the capabilities of the motors to still meet the specifications. What do we provide? So solutions we offer, and this is just some of them. We've done a lot more, but these are ones I wanted to touch on today. We offer pre-engineered and custom welding cells. So on the left, upper left, you've got a MIG welding cell. That's a RobotWorx pre-engineered cell. And on the top right, we have a pre-engineered spot welding cell. Tooling and table and robot are all integrated into one system there. We also do custom grippers for material handling. So the bottom left gripper is one that's actually on our floor right now that we're finishing up. It consists of vacuum grippers as well as finger grippers to hold the part onto the forks. And then the bottom right is a custom gripper we built for a large sign manufacturer. This is palletizing signs as they're made. And that was actually a 10-foot gripper there. So very large. As Kyle mentioned, the rental program is something we do. This was born of people wanting to understand automation prior to getting into it. It's also helped people that have to do high volume short runs. So it's based around the rental by the week or month. We can do longer term. However, once you get into the 5-6 months, it's no longer in the customer's favor. You're looking at purchasing or leasing at that point to get the most value out of the system. How do we do it? It's a simple credit check and a 1-page agreement. So we're not filling out a giant loan form. You're not buying a car. You're not buying a house. We're just checking, are you within good standings? And are you willing to sign the agreement? And we're good to go there. Like I said, the rental is perfect for R&D, proof of concepts, short run, high volume production, training of staff. So if you've just taken on robotics and you want to get your staff trained up, but you don't want to stop your system, you can bring a robot in, have it for a week or two, train your staff while your new system's running with the primary staff that have been previously trained by us at our location. And then again, just gaining familiarity. Learning what a robot can do for you helps you make that decision of, do I want to move forward? So with that, part of the package we can offer on the rentals is supplying our experts that can help you integrate the robot into your manufacturing process without long-term commitment or capital cost. So we can get you started on a rental where the capital cost is minimal, and it actually turns into an expense at that point. RobotWorx includes a limited warranty on all rentals for any repairs. So we'll do same warranty we offer on systems and robots that are sold. We offer on rentals. And then if you do decide to keep your robot, there's a 20% rental price that can be credited toward that purchase. Financial options. So one thing we wanted to cover today is other options for getting equipment in your building, making money for you, and helping you grow your business. So fine print-wise, RobotWorx is not an accounting or finance firm. We've had a lot of help with this, and I see Camille is on. So we appreciate her putting this together. When you're choosing a finance company, there's a couple factors you want to take into account. And part of that is the equipment purchases can represent a large investment for you. You want to make sure you're partnering with a sound, reputable financing firm in order for your business to prosper. Customer satisfaction always has to be the priority of the finance firm. It's important that the partner that you finance with has no hidden fees, end of lease traps, and you're getting what you need and exactly what you were told you were going to get. So you need a partner with values that are straightforward, or a straightforward way of doing business. Some of the advantages of leasing: you can 100% finance the purchase. So that includes delivery, installation, training, taxes. Anything that you purchase under that PO likely can be financed 100% as part of the deal. Application processes are usually very quick, within a day or two. It's much easier to get financing than a typical loan. It's basically an evaluation of your credit worthiness and credit history and working through it with the finance company to get approved. Leasing also, offers minimum cash outlays, flexible terms and options. You can usually find aggressive rates. Right now we know everybody's got extremely low interest rates. And you want to make sure you don't get any surprise fees. So as far as looking for a finance partner, you're looking for a reliable source, someone who has good customer retention. Also look out for quarterly finance promotions. They can help you with payments, with terms, etc. And then $1, as Kyle mentioned, or fair market value leases. So $1 lease, at the end of the lease, you pay $1 and you own the equipment. Fair market value, you pay whatever the fair market value is at the end of the lease. This allows you to have better cash management, lower cost of doing business, and your asset life cycle management is better under control because you are leasing and potentially returning for an upgrade of equipment. So the benefits of leasing. The equipment lease financing, there's no real good answer, is this good for you? There's no wrong answer, excuse me. Every business has a different way of doing things. Leasing is a lesser known option and something we at RobotWorx have worked with our partners to extend to customers to make sure they're getting the equipment they need. Some key advantages I'll go through, and those will help you make your best decision for your business needs. So as Kyle said, cash is king. Saving cash is number one, especially right now. It's too unpredictable of a business climate not to have cash on hand, but we can't wait till life gets back to normal to continue to grow our businesses. We know right now we need to plan for the unexpected. I think we've learned that very clearly over the last few months, and leasing will give you that cash advantage for those unexpected costs. So equipment financing saves your working capital that would otherwise be used if you were to pay cash. So it allows you to keep your cash on hand. With an equipment lease program designed around your specific needs and other expenses that may come up. An advantage of that is you have affordable monthly payments. You're not making a one-time investment that depletes your cash. You're making a lease payment monthly based on the terms that you work out with your finance company. Business credit. The other part of unpredictability is you want to make sure your business credit line is healthy. If you're expending your business credit to purchase equipment, you don't have it for operational expenses and expansions, staffing. Having an open credit line allows you to respond immediately in a time of need. And again, right now, that's really important. Equipment leasing lets you keep your business credit line open while strengthening the cash position of your business. So you're saving your cash for a rainy day. Ongoing equipment updates. So depending on the type of business you're running, equipment lease financing may help you stay on top of the latest advances in equipment and technology. So I liken that to if your business is dependent on the iPhone and having the latest version. If you bought an iPhone 2 years ago, it's already obsolete. If you would have leased it for 2 years, you could turn it back in and get a new one and have the latest and greatest on hand. Equipment's the same way. Equipment technology advances, and you want to make sure you're able to keep up with that. That's an opportunity to do that. And that goes into being able to make upgrades for newer equipment when your short-term lease is up. It gives your company a competitive edge. In the iPhone example, maybe it's an extra app. RobotWise, maybe it's an extra function, an extra software, an increased capability. So if your business uses equipment that requires periodic updates with newer technology and capabilities, leasing can be the best option for those reasons I just mentioned. And alternatively, when you buy equipment, you're stuck with it. Unless you can sell it before cost of repairs come into play or it becomes obsolete. Again, going back to the iPhone, you won't have all the functions of the latest and greatest. Healthy balance sheets. So a balance sheet can be made more attractive through fair market value leasing. Your monthly lease payments may be viewed as a business expense instead of a liability or long-term debt. And as you know, having little debt or no debt on your company's financial statements is a huge benefit when it comes to securing business funding. And again, your accountant can help you determine what's best for you. Other benefits. Other benefits, you can usually include taxes, freight, and other costs related to equipment. So you don't have to, so it doesn't have to come out of pocket. Like I said, anything that's included on that purchase order can usually be financed. You pick the length of your term. 24 to 60 months is a typical, and you are protected against inflation. Your leasing cost remains the same throughout the life. So you have a fixed monthly payment that does not increase with inflation. And you receive all the warranties. You get the benefits of the purchase without the commitment or upfront costs. And if we look at comparing leasing to buying, this is just a quick, leasing complements your banking lines. Like I showed before, your credit line doesn't get eaten up if you're leasing. Leasing extends capital. You can 100% finance a equipment purchase. Terms and payments are flexible. Protection against inflation. You select equipment you want from any vendor. So once you're approved for financial leasing, you go out and find the vendor. You don't have to work with a financial company's preferred vendors. You are wide open there. Warranties, your warranty carries over just like a purchase. Maintenance contracts can be covered within your lease. And then title and licensing, insurance, taxes paid in one lump sum, taxes paid over a period of time. So the bottom two are up to your accountant and how they want to play that out. Fair market value lease. We'll go into these a little. Fair market value lease, also known as the operating lease, is probably what comes to mind when you hear the term lease. Commonly, it's used for leasing a car. A fair market value lease allows the leasee To use the equipment for a prearranged time period for a fixed monthly payment. At the end of the term, the leasee has the option to purchase the equipment at its then determined fair market value, return the equipment, or upgrade to new equipment, or continue. You can choose just that I like what I have, I know the lease is up, let's renew it and keep going. So you have lots of options with leases. If your program changes, your product line changes, you add on contracts, these leases are good ways to have that mobility to pivot, to make changes to your production line without the long-term commitment and obsolete equipment of the old products on hand. Master lease agreements. Master lease agreements are the process of getting approved prior and then working through a simple lease program once you know what you need or once you start adding stuff on. Master lease schedules can be different from lease to lease that you add on to that. And they can be set up for $1 buyouts or fair market value. Master lease offers a line item invoicing, so you'll know exactly what you're paying for each item that you've financed. All lease schedules are on one invoice. It can be varied due dates, even 60 days deferred payments. It's like having a line of credit, however you're running them as leases and treating them as leases on the accounting side. Section 179. So 179 is a tax deduction that's been going on for several years now. It was created in order to get people to invest in their companies and to upgrade to new technology. So you can claim lease equipment on a 179 deduction. Leasing equipment and software with a 179 deduction is the preferred financial strategy for many businesses. It can significantly help with not only cash flow, again, you're not spending your cash up front, but with profits as well through the tax deductions. So who qualifies? All businesses that purchase or lease less than $2.5 million in new or used equipment can qualify for the Section 179. So the 179 deduction, most people think of 179 as a complicated tax code, but it's very simple. And Camille has laid out for me, when you buy or lease a piece of qualifying equipment, you can deduct the full purchase price from your gross income. It's an incentive created by the U.S. government to encourage businesses to buy equipment and invest in themselves. So we have an example down here. Equipment costs $500. Normal depreciation would be $0. The total first year deduction through the 179 would be $50,000. So your tax savings in this instance, assuming 21% tax bracket, you'd save $10,500 on that opportunity. Excuse me, it's $11,000. And again, check with your tax accountant. Each company is unique on how they want to claim and what's the best benefit. RobotWorx financial tools. So we have several tools on our website, robots.com, that customers can go to help themselves establish a budget before they start thinking about what they want to do automation-wise. And all our tools can be found by scrolling to the bottom of our homepage. Again, robots.com, scroll to the bottom, you'll see this tab. And then to the right is our finance calculator, our ROI calculator, a little more about rent-to-own, 179 defined, and then there's a few articles on how robots can improve your profits. So this is a screen grab of our finance calculator. You can plug in your terms. We have this broke down in 36 to 84 months, and the amount of money you want to loan. and it'll give you an approximation of what your payment would be in that instance. Our ROI calculator will help you determine the benefit of the equipment you're going to buy. By plugging in the price of the equipment, the number of robots used, the current process, so your workers, shifts, operating costs, and comparing the two, you'll come up with your break-even point and your net cost savings as you work through this sheet. So this is a good one to give you the justification for moving forward with the finance tool. You can look at multiple scenarios and come up with what's best for you. All right, so now this is a customer we did a reconditioned work cell for, and he's in the custom boat industry.
I'm William Coulter. I'm the president of Crystal Coast Composites. We do fiberglass parts. Our primary business is OEM business to other boat builders. Before we purchase the robot, it's all done by hand. Very labor intensive. You spend almost as much time marking up the part before you actually start trimming on it. Because you're doing everything by hand, it's never perfect. So you have to sand down lines to make them straight, and a lot of secondary work after it's done. That's what we purchased the robot to do. The operator sets up the box to be trimmed, pushes the button to start the robot, and it only takes the robot 6 minutes to trim the part, where it used to take 15 to 20 minutes to trim the part. Quality has improved, our productivity has improved, our worker environment has improved. The robot will open up some additional markets for me, places where the trimming accuracy is necessary, places where the flexibility is necessary. I think they did a great job. They got me the exact robot that I needed.
They were not a job shop, right? They had a bit of they're in low volume production. They look like low to mid volume.
Correct. They do custom boat building. This is the gentleman cutting these units out by hand. As you can see, he's fully PPE loaded. He's working with a sharp radial saw. And what we did is we went in, put a cutting tool, multiple actually, this has a 5 tool change capability on it, with a vacuum system. So everything we're cutting with the robot, we're vacuuming. It not only gets the person out of the poor environment, but it keeps the shop a lot cleaner, a lot easier to breathe the air. So as Bill mentioned in the video, production time was reduced greater than 50%. We went from 15 to 20 minutes to process to 6 minutes. Working conditions improved, and it's opening up new markets where precision and flexibility are required. And I will hand it back over to you, Kyle.
Anybody that's been in a fiberglass shop knows they can be pretty nasty settings. So that's a good application there. All right. So, iSmart, our group within the MEP centers, we are working with folks like RobotWorx and others that have been in automation for a while, have great reputations, and we want to bring these project services to you. I've talked about the assessments. This is really something that we're striving to knock out throughout the Midwest. in all different types of industries, from furniture to plastics, food and beverage even. Automation and robotics can be applied to so many different markets. Reviewing the application and developing the business case and getting that report to the decision makers is the ultimate goal. And then lining you up with those right integrators and partners that you need to move forward. Locally, your resources, there may be some automation working groups, provider networks, the robotics, the RIA, people might be familiar with that group. It's been kind of the central hub for robotics information and networking in the U.S. On the financial side, grant funding can be available. Indiana, I know, has had a few different avenues to navigate for folks looking to adopt technology and get a little bit of assistance. So that's another advantage to working with an MEP center, that we can connect you to those folks that are kind of holding the purse strings with some of those grants and getting you the right application information you need. The training resources we talked about a little bit, that can be value stream mapping, that can be all sorts of lean-based principles, change management, and even lining you up with someone to do the risk assessment for the automation. Right. This is a sample page of what this report will look like. So we establish which type of, in this case it was a cobot, under the category necessary reach that you see, and then we will identify the line through descriptions, whether it's a machine tending, a deburring operation, a bin picking operation. We'll spell that out. We'll work on rating this based on the projected payback period, the level of integration that you need, and we'll score that from an A to a C. Most applications are Bs. They're somewhere in the middle. The A's are obviously the ones we want to start with and try to build some momentum on. They typically have quick payback periods of 12 months or less and require minimal integration. Sometimes you can even be self-integrated by the client. So we'll give a description of the process and get a cycle time, and then plug that cycle time into our report and show you what that could look like on an hourly rate basis using automation versus an operator. And we've got some upcoming sessions, again, related to automation. So our friends at CIRAS have one coming up in about a week, where they are talking about how to prepare for automation for those folks that are new to it. And typically, a lot of small and medium-sized manufacturers are new to it. IMEC is talking about just beginning Robots 101. So, again, FANUC is going to be a part of this one. So FANUC is one of the premier OEMs in the robot market, so they're going to have some valuable content there. You can find all this through our Purdue MEP page. That's highlighted in the link below. So I'll give you a minute to screenshot this or jot that down. But we'll be updating this as a live calendar, basically. And you can obviously, if you're in Indiana, you can attend the CIRAS one, even though it's being put on by Iowa. There's no geographical limitation for these webinars, so we'll get you to the right people. If you are interested in something that was offered by a different state, we'll get you lined up to the right resources to move forward. Again, this is RobotWorx contact information. Yes, they do own robots.com. They did not pay $1 bazillion for that. They bought it in, was it 92, Tom? Was that the date that you bought that domain?
Yeah, probably around 95 when the internet became a thing.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I laughed at that the first time I saw it. So contact Tom at tfisher@robots.com or sales, and then there's their phone number. So again, take a minute to jot that down. Appreciate everyone hanging on today, and now is the time for questions. So if you have a question, we've had a couple in the chat box or the Q&A box. Okay, looks like we've covered everything we needed to so far. Again, thanks for your attendance. If you did have a question or think of something later, feel free to email me. Thanks to Tom and RobotWorx. We'll see you next time.